Hi. So, ignore my hair. But hi there. So ignore the hair. I just got out of the shower. Hair's drying. But let's talk. Hello there. If you are new here, I'm Jo. I am Fight and Read Like a Girl. I do things bookish and polycystic ovarian syndrome related. If you are returning or you've been sticking around with me, I am so grateful for you. I'm so happy you are here. You guys are awesome. So in this video, we are going to be talking about some life updates as well as every single book that I have read so far in 2025. I don't believe, I'm gonna go double check, but I don't think I've posted any videos about what I've read so far in 2025, but we're gonna double check that right now. Yeah, so the last video I posted was 2 months ago. And I haven't posted a video since then, so let's talk about it and we'll go from there. So, first things first, let's talk about where I've been. So I want to say it was maybe August of last year. What I am able to say is somebody near and dear in my family got a pretty awful diagnosis, which is not cancer, but it's still an awful diagnosis. I haven't discussed my YouTube channel with them, so I'm not going to go into detail because I'm going to keep that part private. But she has needed some extra help, and I have been going over there a lot between there and work. I honestly haven't had much time to do a lot of videos because I'm also helping raise my two youngest nephews, and one is almost 6 and one is almost a year. So it has been a journey on that, and just between that and work, I have done a lot of switching around lately at work, a lot of training, and the training has taken up a lot of my time, and the diagnosis that we're dealing with has also been taking up a lot of my time. So I haven't been able to find the right balance to figure out when to record videos and when to edit them or anything like that, because my weekends have been devoted to just time to myself, because I'm just go throughout the week, and the weekends have been time to myself and time with my husband. So I just haven't made the time or found the time to make videos. So I apologize for that, and I am so grateful for every single one of you that have stuck around with me and are still here and are still happy and still excited to see my videos. You all are just so amazing. I have been posting shorts. I am going to hopefully do a lot more with the shorts and whatnot. So, because those shorts are fun. Like, the shorts definitely get a lot more views than my longer videos do, so I definitely want to do more with those shorts. And I mean, they're fun. They're fun to make, and I definitely want to make more of those. So definitely let me know is any content you guys want to see. Like, I definitely want to get back in to doing the longer videos. I do miss doing this. I miss the editing process. I miss reading the comments like after I post them. Like, I generally miss doing this. So I hope we can continue. And in this video, I would love for anybody who's been sticking around for the longest time, I would love to see a comment down below on what kind of content you would like to see from me, what kind of content that you've seen in the past that I've done that you would like more of. I am planning on redoing my favorites of all time. I started it and then I've thought about deleting the ones that I've did and just restarting it because it's just been so long since I've done it. I mean, also I was random thing too. I was also dealing with a broken toe. Okay, the struggle was real. Okay, so if you guys watched the final week of my reading reset where I did the vlogs, oh my gosh, so I got a hairline fracture on the knuckle of my fourth toe on my left foot. I know. How? Okay, how do you ask? Well, I kicked a bed. So I have a metal bed frame and I kicked it, trying to avoid the dog. And well, yeah, that happened. It's still healing. And I mean, that was on January 1st. And it still hurts a little. Most definitely. Like, I can't stand on my tiptoes. And I have to like stretch it every once in a while. It still hurts. So there's that. But with that being said, you know, it just, life is lifing right now for me. There's a lot going on in my life. So I'm going to try, and I'm saying try, to make sure I get at least one video out a week. It will be a bonus if I can get two, but we will see what definitely happens. So now that we know what's going on, I have 14 books I need to talk to you about. So let's dive in. Let's get started. Editing Joanna is going to hate me later, but I do not want to pull them off my shelf because it's a lot of them. So again, editing Joanna is going to hate me, but it's okay. I have to save them at some point anyway. So here we go. So since January 1st, I have read over 14 books. My goal for the year is 50. According to Goodreads, I am one book ahead of schedule, which is amazing. I'm baffled by the fact I've read 14. So we're going to start at the very, very beginning. Okay, so first we are going to start with Verity by Colleen Hoover. Okay, 5 out of 5 stars. This was so good, and they just wrapped up the movie adaptation, and I'm so excited to see it. Definitely a couple of my favorite actresses are in it, and I'm so excited. So this one I ended up giving 5 stars, I think. I don't want to open the image. I want to open... Yes, so I ended up giving this 5 out of 5 stars. I didn't leave a review on Goodreads, but my review is like, this was very entertaining. I was not expecting the kind of things that I read in here with the psychological type thriller, and I definitely think Colleen Hoover did it well. And as somebody who reads a lot of psychological thrillers, I can definitely say that I saw it coming, but the way it played out was very well done, and I loved it. And I would definitely recommend it because it was very good. It was just so good, and I really don't have much more to say about it. But if you have not read Verity, it follows a woman who... It follows two women, actually. So the first one is a woman that basically is bedbound. And then the second one, she is an author, and she comes in to write for the woman who's bedbound, like as a ghostwriter. And then weird things start happening. Nobody believes this ghostwriter person that comes in. And it's just a wild, twisty ride. Of course, you know, not everybody reads the same book, but I absolutely loved this book, and I would definitely recommend it to you. And I think the sun came out, my light changed. So, now, alright, we're going to move on. So the next book that I'm going to talk about so far is one of my biggest disappointments. And I really wanted to like this book. I really did, because I love this author. But that is The Maidens by Alex. I can't say his name. I have to work on that. But yes, this lovely book right here. I ended up giving it 3 stars. And like, the more I think about this book, the more I want to drop my rating, maybe to like a 2.5 or a 2 star, because this was just not it. And I definitely feel like there was just too much happening, and it was like this author was trying to put himself in a different perspective, and it just, by the time I got to like the end of the book, I was so confused, and the way like it finished up, it didn't work. It just did not work. Like, I don't even want to talk about this book anymore because it just did not work. It was not. This is not his best work. Like, this is not going to steer me away from this author, because I absolutely loved The Silent Patient. I'm still definitely going to read more by this author because The Silent Patient was fantastic in my eyes. So, it's just The Maidens are just... No, it just didn't work for me. It just didn't. So next one we have is The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. You know me. If you don't know me, I love historical fiction. And if historical fiction has to do with World War II, sign me up for it. I'm all over it. World War II fiction and non-fiction is like my comfort genre. Don't judge me, okay? But this one was 5 out of 5 stars. You follow this man who is a Jew, and he basically is dealing with the Holocaust and all that, and they find out that, you know, he can be useful. So, and then he ends up becoming the tattooist of Auschwitz, and he ends up meeting a lovely lady, and just things kind of blossom from there. Like, it was beautiful. I absolutely loved this story, and I started watching the adaptation for it, but this was just so beautiful. I loved it. Next we have City of Ruins by Brandy Pitts. This lovely lady has become a very, very good friend of mine. We personally have never met. but I met her on TikTok, and I met her on TikTok, but I also met her through another friend that I met on TikTok. She's a lovely lady, and if you definitely ever have the chance to get to know her, I recommend it. But she wrote City of Ruins, and 5 stars. It was wonderful. Do check your trigger warnings though. But this one, oh, just so beautiful. Beautiful in the sense of like it's heartbreaking, and like it's definitely a mafia romance, and I've discovered that I love mafia romance. I don't know why. I don't think it's all because of Randy and another person why I love mafia romance, but that's besides the point. So this one, you're following Amara, who is trying to basically get away, or no, hold on, it's been a little bit. So this is a dark mafia romance that follows the story of Amara Taylor and how she's trying to be a compliant daughter to a dangerous man. Her father trying to force her into arranged marriage before she is kidnapped by someone who is more dangerous. So, I mean, it definitely, there is, check your trigger warnings on this one. If you get a copy of this and it doesn't have trigger warnings, like, definitely go check. But my review from Goodreads is beautiful. You want spicy? It's in here. Read the trigger warnings. Do not take the trigger warnings lightly. Very well done, Brandy, and I need book 2. So, book 1 is available on Kindle Unlimited. Book 2, I think you have to purchase book 2 on a Kindle. I can't remember. Either way, this was just so good. And I think it'd be safe to say that this might become one of my favorite books of 2025. But we'll see how the rest of the year goes. So, moving on. Okay, next we have The Crash by Frida McFadden. There has been a lot of conversation around this book. One of them is that you either love it or you either hate it. I personally loved it. I thought that it worked. I thought it was really well done. And this one literally had me on the edge of my seat where I was like, I was way up past my bedtime to read this. I think I read this in like 3 hours because I just could not put it down. And like when I was, because like between, I was reading it at work, okay? I got about like maybe 75% of the way through at work. And like it's a fast read, so it's not like I was sitting down at work like ignoring my responsibilities and reading, okay? It's a very, very fast read. It probably took me maybe an hour to get through 75% of the book, and when I got home I plopped my butt right here and I finished it. I had to know how it ended, and I personally like this because it does take place in Maine, like during a snowstorm. The main character is pregnant and she's going to see her brother, and then she gets into an accident, and basically in a nutshell, without giving anything away, things happen. Absolutely love this. It was 5 stars for me. It is available on Kindle Unlimited and across all bookstores, but this was just, I have no words for this. I would definitely say it's not the best one that I've read by her, but it definitely is up there with, for me, one of the best ones she's written. Alright, next we have a nonfiction, because my goal for the year was to read at least 6 nonfiction, because I didn't really read very many last year. and I definitely wanted to read more nonfiction. So, the next one I have is I Didn't Do the Thing Today, Letting Go of Productivity Guilt by Madeline Dorr. I have been struggling with my ADHD quite a bit, and I'm one of those people that don't want to take the medication for it because I see what it's done to people that have taken it, and just people in my family just don't respond well to the medications. And this book kind of like helped me, like it reminded me it's okay if you don't get something done today that you wanted to. You could always move it on, and there's no reason to feel guilty. So there's that. If you hear laughing or anything, my husband's in the other room. Sorry. So next one that we're going to go on to, I really don't rate nonfiction, so there was no rating on this one. But if I had to rate it, I would maybe get a 4-star. Okay, next we're moving on to Charlotte's Web by Evie White. This is probably maybe the third time I've read this book. And I mean, I've always loved Charlotte's Web because, I mean, maybe it has a special place in my heart, but it takes place in Maine, and it, like, you know, the county fair, like, you know, that is a thing here in Maine. Like, you go up to the county fair, or you go up to one of your the state fair, and they had like the competitions and stuff like that they talk about in Charlotte's Web. And, you know, 5 stars all the time. I love this book. It's so sad at the end. It always makes me cry, or at least tear up, or at least that little like pouty face, or whatever. Like, it's sad, but, you know, do I really need to like talk about what this book is about? Because I feel like everybody and anybody knows what this book is. If you don't know what this book is and you've never read it, I do recommend it, but do know that it is a middle grade or like a children's book. So it's gonna read like a children's book, and it's not gonna be for everybody, but, you know, you should at least read it at least once in your lifetime. I'm telling you, okay? Just read it. Alright. Don't judge me this year, okay? I have a lot of duplicate authors right now. So, next book that we're going to talk about is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. So this one is about a woman named Kenna who just served 5 years in prison by like a tragic mistake, and she was hoping to like reunite with her 4-year-old daughter, and like she moves back to like the town and everything like that, and it just doesn't work out that way. And then she ends up meeting like this guy who she ends up falling in love with and all that fun stuff. And I don't know what else to say about it because I don't want to give away the story, but this was 5 stars for me. It was just really good. She's on a journey of like hope and healing and trying to figure out herself. It was just so good. I hope that this one actually gets turned into a movie, because that would be a very wonderful movie. Alright, this next one we are going to talk about, I finally read it. I need to read the second one. I need to get a copy of the third one. But I finally read it, you guys. And that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is one of the biggest books around, and if you don't know what this one is about, you are definitely living under a rock. But this one is just, I was drawn to this one because of the dragons and stuff like that. Did I write a review? Did I actually like write a review? Okay. So I said, okay, first off, it took me a while to read this. Halfway through the book, I was bored, and I thought about DNFing it. But I held on, and I'm so glad I did. And that ending, what? So I'm honestly surprised. Like, I think about that ending, I'm surprised it didn't make me pick up the next book. But I have like so many other books that I want to get to. That's why I didn't. And I did end up giving this 5 stars. Like, this was so good. And I'm actually excited to dive into the rest of the world and read Iron Flame and see what happens and go on to Onyx Storm. And, you know, there's so many other books I want to get to right now. That's why I haven't done it. But this was really good, and I'm very happy that I read this. And yeah. Next. So this next one, I feel so bad for this guy. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Answer is No by Frederick Bachman. I like Frederick Bachman. I've liked Frederick Bachman for a few years now. I read this on Kindle Unlimited, and I ended up giving this 4 stars because I definitely felt like it needed more to it. It's a very, very short story. It is on Kindle Unlimited. You can like literally read this in like maybe an hour. I mean, I read it in an hour. It's like 68 pages. And it's about this like old man who lives in an apartment, and like there's like other people like around him and whatnot, and like one day like the apartment board is just rings his doorbell, and he tries to take so one day they ring his doorbell, and they're trying to like demand to see his frying pan because somebody had left one in the recycling room overnight, and instead of like saying that, like trying to sit down and find the guilty party, they are going door to door trying to figure out like who has a new frying pan. And this poor guy, like just before this happened, he had just ordered some food, and like it was the wrong order, but then he realized that it was his neighbor that ordered this. It's like the same thing but without the peanuts on the pad thai. And it's just this poor guy, like he's like struggling to basically eat his pad thai, and like, you know, the apartments. Okay, I apologize, camera died, had to charge it a little. Let's jump back in. So we were talking about The Answer is No. So this poor guy, he went with his pad thai, and it just, I don't even know what else to say about this. Like, this poor guy. 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. Alright. Next one we have is The Widow's Husband's Secret Lie by Frida McFadden. This was one of her short like novellas, and this one, it was just kind of like at the end, like, what did I just read? Like, I could definitely understand the hype around it, and I ended up giving this 5 out of 5 stars. It was just really good. I don't want to say much about this one because I don't want to give it away, because things happen rather quickly in a short amount of pages, and I don't want to give away the story, so we're not. This next one, okay. I am so disappointed in this one, and I definitely don't think this one's going to steer me away from this author, but we have A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman. Now, Josh Malerman wrote one of my favorite books of all time, and that is Bird Box. And this one, it was just not it. I ended up giving this 2 out of 5 stars. Like, it's about 2 teenagers that discover something at the bottom of a water surface, or like the bottom of like a lake, and their lives change. Like, this just, no. My review on Goodreads, okay? The love story was not necessary. This was labeled as a horror. It is not. If you pick this out expecting a horror, you will be disappointed. It was more like a coming-of-age story where two teenagers fall in love. I wanted to love this book, but it made no sense. I just can't, Mr. Malaman. This is not your best work. I mean, if you love this book, great. I'm happy for you, but it was not for me. I was just so disappointed, and I wish that I could unread this book. I'm sorry, Mr. Malaman, if you ever see this video. Not your best work. Alright. This next one I listened to on audio, and this author captured Maine so beautifully. Archer's voice by Mia Sheridan. This was when I was getting confused with the Maine, or no, I was getting this one confused with Reminders of Him. This is the one that where Maine was written so beautifully, and this is going to be on my books I wish I could read again for the first time. Okay, so I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This was a typical girl meets boy, they fall in love. When I started this, I was definitely not really sure what to expect. Yes, I really liked it. I went into it expecting to cry. Either I'm a heartless bitch, or I just don't cry easy. But this book did not make me cry. Okay, maybe it did. I teared up a little bit when, like, toward the end, when Archer got in trouble in order to save the girl, basically. But I wasn't, like, sobbing at the end. And I told myself that if I were to sob, like, full on, like, sobbing, like, wiping snot from my nose, that it probably would have been 5 stars. But I loved that it was set in, like, a really small town in Maine. Maine was just so well done. It was like the author knew what Maine was like, and we really are like our own breed up here, or and over here, wherever you guys are in the world, if you're seeing this video. And we really are like our own, and it was just very beautifully well done. And this is gonna be one of those books that I will probably add to the list. I wish I could read again for the first time, because it was good. But I gave it 4 stars because I was not a sobbing mess when it came to this book. So there's that. I only have one more book we need to talk about, okay? And this is another Holocaust story. I really enjoyed this one. I don't think I ended up giving a rating or anything yet, though. No, I didn't rate it. So it's because it's nonfiction, actually. So recently I went to the DMV and I read this. I was sitting there in the DMV and just waiting for my turn or whatever. And this one was about 2 girls. One of them is hearing, one of them is deaf. And you follow both of them, like both like their perspectives on like surviving the Holocaust. And it's a very short, quick read. It's like 128 pages. I think the version that I had was like 68 pages. Because I borrowed this on my Kindle through my library. My library's got their own app. Not like their own app, but it's like, they use Cloud Library, I think that's what it's called. And I was able to get it through my local library using that. And this was good. I definitely enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating, it'd be 5 stars. But it is nonfiction, so I don't rate nonfiction. But this was definitely it read like a middle grade. It was a kind of like something that I would, excuse me, it's probably something that I would read in school. I think this would be a good one to read in school if you like you're learning about the Holocaust. And I enjoyed this one. This was really good. I have nothing else to say about it. It's 2 girls trying to survive. Really. That's all it was. But phew. Okay. If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. You now know all the books that I've read in 2025 so far. And what am I currently reading? Well, that's a long story. So, with my reading this year, I have not set any TBRs for myself because I've been such in a mood like lately. And I think I'm probably reading like 5 or 6 books right now. I mean, according to Goodreads, I'm reading like 6. But, because right now I've got A Court of Thorn and Roses, which I'm currently listening to the audio on that, the graphic audio. And then I was reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Surprise, surprise. It'd be the 6th time I'm reading this one. And I'm going to try to grab this without knocking you over, hopefully. The only reason that I am reading that is because I'm annotating. And this is going to go off to a friend. But I have a few other books that I'm reading right now, but my battery is, again, dying. So we're going to end this video here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. All my links will be down below. The list will not be down below because there's a lot of books I talked about. But I'll try to leave like timestamps and stuff like that for each book. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe to join my cute little family here because you don't want to miss anything, because I'm going to try to post once a week. But we will see what happens. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.